we end our wrestling week with the WWE Elimination Chamber. And let me just say this, in my opinion, it was just an okay pay-per-view. The Cruiserweight title, as others have said before, and I've also stated this, the Cruiserweights need to be on the main show, even if they're opening up the match. They put on anywhere from good to great matches. I believe it's time to start showcasing these guys better, giving them better opportunities than what they're giving them at these pay-per-views. Stop putting them on the pre-shows. Let's get these guys on the main card for the pay-per-views. Now, this is just my opinion. I want to talk about just a couple of things, not the entire pay-per-view, just a couple of things I want to take away from, because again, it was just an okay pay-per-view in my opinion. I think what they should have done is given Nia Jax and Tamina the tag team titles instead of Sasha Banks and Bayley. What I would have done is let Nia Jax and Tamina win. I'd have booked them to win. That way you can have Sasha and Bayley kind of, if you want to kind of question their dedication or have them kind of question their dedication, you can kind of do that. But eventually you'll have them face Nia Jax and Tamina at WrestleMania. And now what this does is you're going to have all four horsewomen on the pay-per-view, and you would have Sasha Banks and Bayley win, and then you would have Becky Lynch defeat Ronda Rousey, and I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be a triple threat, and Charlotte Flair. That's the way I would have booked it, but that's just my opinion. There's a lot of heels I noticed in this on the women's side when they did it tonight. I think they should have kind of evened that out. I mean, you had the Iconics, they're a heel. You had Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, heels. You had the Riot Squad, they're heels. Nia Jax, Tamina, they're heels. And then all you had was Naomi, Carmella, and Sasha and Bayley as your babyface tag team. I think they should have had at least another babyface tag team in there. But I mean, things probably would have got jumbled up and been bad. That match to me was kind of slow and clunky. Kind of came together close to the end, but in my opinion, it was predictable. Everybody saw that coming. I think that Nia Jax, though, and Tamina should have been the tag team champions, because now, do you have Sasha and them keep the titles at Mania, or do you have them lose? Because I feel like eventually them as a tag team is not going to last too long. Eventually somebody's going to want to go after the women's championship, and that will probably be Sasha Banks. So I was okay with the match, but wasn't nothing to write home about, to me, in my opinion. It was nice to see the WWE Championship finally main event, the pay-per-view. Don't know if anybody paid attention to that. I think that was a good thing to finally happen. Some of the other matches really didn't care too much for. The Bobby Lashley, Leo Rush handicap match versus Finn Balor. It was what it was. I wasn't too thrilled either with Shane and The Miz and the Usos. The Usos get the win. I'm going to have to start agreeing with everybody else. I think it's time for those guys to leave the WWE, possibly go to AEW. They probably won't. They're going to probably be dedicated to the WWE like their family has been. But I think they should go to AEW, All Elite Wrestling. Possibly even try to work with Ring of Honor or go to New Japan. I'm tired of seeing the Usos with the titles, and then all they're going to do is face the New Day and the New Day. That's about it. I wish they need to push Sanity better than what they're pushing them. They need to work on the tag team division still in the WWE. That was what it was. That match wasn't that great to me. in my opinion. The Baron Corbin versus Braun Strowman, stupid match. That was just dumb. The only highlight to me of the entire pay-per-view was Becky Lynch going ham on everybody, excuse me, with that crutch. That was pretty much the highlight of the pay-per-view. Everything else was just, So I'm not going to even waste my time too much with all that. I just want to touch on the wrestling news and give you my thoughts and opinions on some things. We see that The Undertaker will be at StarCast 2, where they will be having the Double or Nothing pay-per-view. That pay-per-view sold out in 4 minutes. That is a good look, a great look for All Elite Wrestling. It's good for wrestling, period, to see another company selling out so quickly instead of just the WWE. Everybody is still talking about AEW is not real or they're not competition. They're not competition yet, but they're moving along nice and slowly, and they're picking their talent in a very good way. They're not rushing just to sign anybody or waiting for people to be released. Now, in my opinion, should they sign some guys from the WWE? Should Dean sign with them? I'm still 50-50 split on that. I would like to see Dean go to All Elite Wrestling. I think he would do better because he's not one that likes to follow script, as we all saw on Raw. That was not what he was supposed to say at all. He was supposed to have some more in there on that. But I just think if he went to All Elite Wrestling, Dean would have the freedom to be himself. John Moxley would have the freedom to be himself. So I'm hoping that he does go to All Elite Wrestling and leaves the WWE, but I'm still 50-50 on that. Don't know if he's going to resign at the last minute or not. Another thing I want to touch on is with All Elite Wrestling and the TV deals that they are working on getting, I'm starting now to get just a little bit concerned, because now when you're moving into TV, and I know they're talking about, that they don't want to get writers and stuff, but I wonder to know how long are they going to try to go without writers with the company? Are they going to wait till 1, 2, or 3 weeks? Because I think that's going to be something very different and difficult to do. I agree with what Booker T and Sam Roberts were talking about. It's one thing to book a pay-per-view, a show, or a couple of shows throughout the year. But if you get a TV deal, that's 52 weeks that you have to produce this show, and you have to pique the people's interest for 52 weeks, every whatever day you're going to be on, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. So I'm a little worried about it, not majorly worried. I'll say 20% worried about that, but I have faith in Cody, the Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega that they will make the right decisions for All Elite Wrestling, and so would other talent on that. One thing I do hope that All Elite Wrestling does do, I hope they bring in managers, because the WWE still is not using that formula and they're not using it properly. The only person I feel is good is Selena Vega. She's doing an awesome job with Andrade Cien Almas. I'm still going to call him that. I know they shortened his name. Don't care. I'm hoping that they do that and use the manager's format with that. I'm hoping the tag team division builds a little bit more with that. Me personally, I know the Briscoes are faithful to ROH, and I know that they're supposed to be working together, but I don't know, man. I think it's time for some guys to kind of move on from their companies. Guys like the Briscoes, guys like the Usos. I think they need to go to All Elite Wrestling, where the tag team division will possibly be in main event positions, according to the Young Bucks. Back in the days when it was like the Horsemen, the Road Warriors, the Midnight Express, main eventing pay-per-views, things like that. So yeah, they've been in Ring of Honor for a while now. I think it's time for the Briscoes. I would like to see the Briscoes, and rephrase that, I would like to see the Briscoes go to All Elite Wrestling and leave ROH. Even if it's only for 3 years and things like that, I think it's time for them to move on from things like that. Some other things I want to touch on that we saw come out in the news is with Naomi and her husband, Jimmy, getting in trouble with the police. Jimmy, bro, I don't know what you were doing or what you were on, man, but blowing up and flexing on cops, man, that's not a good idea, man. Yeah, man, you got to be careful with that, man. Just because you're a WWE superstar, man, those guys don't care. That could have easily turned out a whole nother way and things like that. So, man, I hope everything works out for them and for him especially. And no repercussions really come down on him. Maybe hit him with a light fine and things like that, hopefully. And that's about it. Congratulations to them for winning the tag team titles, but I don't know what that does for them. They don't have competition, man, on SmackDown, to me, besides the New Day, and I'm tired of seeing that. Been seeing that for the past 2 or 3 years now. Then another thing I want to touch on as well. Kofi Kingston tonight. No, I'm jumping back and forth a lot. I don't have anything written down, so I'm just talking right now on some things I feel. I think tonight Kofi put on a great showing to the front office, and it's sad that yet another black man could not win the WWE Championship. This is getting to be ridiculous. We heard the people chanting for Kofi in the pre-show. They were chanting for Kofi when it came down to just him and Daniel Bryan. And yet you keep saying that you're listening to your fans. And you've changed the finishes before in the middle of the matches. Why not change the finish right there and send the people home happy? You had the people there. And yes, I know that you want to, wrestling is supposed to be 50-50 with suspense. And is it real or what's going on? But man, when you have a crowd responding like that to a wrestler, change the finish, man. They should have put the title on Kofi. See how the crowd responds to him, with the championship. And if he loses momentum, he can easily drop it at Mania, man. If he is still having that momentum, man, keep that guy with the title until after Mania, man. It doesn't hurt. I get sick and tired of them saying that they listen to the fans and, we hear you guys and we're keeping up with the pulse of the wrestling community. No, you're not, man. It's so quick and easy to change the finish with all the microphones everybody got. Corey has a mic. Cole has a mic. The referees have a mic. Everybody's mic'd the hell up. Call an audible. Should have put the title on Kofi. I don't know what they were doing on that right there. But yeah, that is just my opinion. I think they dropped the ball right there, not giving Kofi the championship. But all in all, it was a really interesting week with wrestling, with Taker, StarCast 2, with everything going on in AEW. It was a good week for wrestling news. So much stuff going on. I know I'm making this one short and it's just a ramble video, but I will get back to you guys a little bit later. Again, Elimination Chamber, it was so to me. I hope that they change direction, because right now, to me, the only thing worth watching for Mania is going to be the Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte Flair. And on that note, I will see you guys later.